report about Scottish independence.
But is it really a good idea? Scotland will suffer from many problems such as finance and alliances with Europe.
But Scotland is believed to need independence in order to flourish. Here with more information is Ava, who's currently interviewing Mr. Pioca.
We are here with Mr. Pioca, a social sciences teacher, to hear his views on Scottish independence.
How important do you think the referendum is to Scotland and why?
I think it's going to be very important for Scotland because of what it will mean, one way or the other. If Scotland decides to go independent as a result of this referendum, then a lot of things will have to change. There's a lot of things that we need to take into consideration. Will we actually have enough money as a country to pay for people's welfare? You know, if someone becomes unemployed, how are we going to help them? Will we have the money for that? How are we going to help people who want to study? Do we have the money to let them study at our universities without having to pay tuition fees and things like that? That's a really, really important thing. Also, if Scotland becomes independent, we'll be able to actually make our own decisions about what we want to happen in terms of the politics in our country and how we want to interact with other countries and how we react to problems like what's going on in the Ukraine at the moment. Right? Those are all really important things. On the other hand, do we really not want to have anything to do with the people down south? Do we not have an awful lot in common with them? Have we not actually benefited from being in a big union, being part of the United Kingdom? Do we really want to say goodbye to all that? It's been, what, 300 years? Do we want to say, doesn't matter anymore? Yeah? And there are really questions that still need to be answered. And I think a lot of people at the moment are quite on the fence because they kind of feel neither side have given convincing arguments because they just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Would independence affect you personally?
It probably would, because one of the problems is that we don't know what will happen, whether an independent Scotland could be part of the EU. And at the moment, because I'm German, I can work here, because Scotland is part of the UK and the UK is part of the EU. If Scotland goes independent, the EU have said, well, then they need to reapply, and that can take a long time. So what would happen to me in the meantime? Would I have to get a visa to work here? Would I have to possibly leave? I've been living here for 10 years. I'd have to maybe go back to Germany and start afresh there. Not something I'm looking forward to. You know, I've got all my friends here and everything else.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here with a few of my classmates to find out their views on the referendum. How do you feel about the referendum?
I think Scotland should become an independent country.
I don't think Scotland should become an independent country.
Calvin, why do you want it to be independent?
So Scotland can make like some decisions, and so we don't need to like rely on England all the time to make our decisions for us.
And the reason I think we shouldn't have the referendum, we shouldn't become an independent country is because eventually we would have to rely on England, and England doesn't really help other countries that sort of like split it off for it as much. So I think it'd just be a good idea to keep it the same way as it's always been.
Thank you guys.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Ava, and also thank you for watching the school news. I'm Iona.
And I'm Abigail, and we'll be keeping you updated until the referendum in September.